and Vining. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Thanks for tuning in. Got a bit of a moist day in front of us. It's sunny now, but later partly cloudy and then 75 for a high with some rain in the forecast. Pardon me. I'm continuing to fight both a head and chest cold here.
Me.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can. We continue to struggle on. 69 for a high tomorrow. Rain on and off all day. 51 on Sunday. That's actually the high. Will probably be lower than that most of the day. And we'll have a temperature of 45 on Monday. 45, yikes. That's a little too low for me. Just got some breaking news coming in as the Supreme Court has ruled on the president's tariffs case. Can the president impose tariffs on foreign countries because he says we're in a state of emergency? On first blush, and first blush is always first blush, it would appear as though the Supreme Court says no.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
They strike down, all these tariffs is what they're saying.
Now, if the president negotiated tariffs with foreign countries, that is apparently acceptable. But if he just imposed tariffs without coming to some sort of agreement with the country, then that is not acceptable, apparently. And consequently, those will have to be taken off, and possibly there could be refunds involved. Or he could go to Congress and say, hey, guys, how about you give me the power to put tariffs on? Just say I can, and it's as good as done. And Congress, both the House and the Senate, would have to approve such a thing. I'm not sure exactly how you would word it, if it would be a bill or if it would just be Congress saying, yeah, go ahead. And I don't know if you would need to get to 60 votes in the Senate for that. Even if you didn't, I'm not sure he would get it. I'm not sure he would get all of the Republican senators on his side. Rand Paul, for instance, is dead set against tariffs all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how many he'll need to get this, but this is Donald Trump is not going to be happy about this ruling today.
No.
But there may be some other ways around it.
There may be. We'll see. We'll try to kind of break this down a little bit more as the morning wears on. But, this is really, once again, just at first blush. Gives the president power to regulate imports, does not specifically mention tariffs, taxes, or duties. Therefore, President Trump he'd be the first president to use the 1977 law to impose tariffs. And so they're saying, striking down all of those tariffs that were instituted by the IEEPA when the president said, we're going to go ahead and stick it to these countries because we don't like what they're doing.
6-3 court decision.
Wow.
Strikes it down.
I'm going to guess the three were Alito and Clarence Thomas. And no, not Ketanji Brown Jackson. Would probably be Kavanaugh, maybe?
I heard Alito and Kavanaugh mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, John Roberts wrote for the majority, so there you go. It really comes down to how are you interpreting the Constitution and how are you interpreting that 1977 law? And, like you said, the president may have to figure out ways around it, but here's the thing. There's no appealing this. It was just a decision by the highest court in the land.
Yep, so it sticks.
This is it. If you can figure out a way to make it work, then by all means go ahead and figure out a way to make it work. But one of the main things might just be going to these countries that you've stuck on these tariffs and negotiating with them and coming to a fair conclusion. He imposed tariffs on China earlier, back in his first term, and nobody asked questions about that.
No.
Which I find interesting.
Sure no.
Okay.
So, we were waiting on this, and this morning that they have ruled on it, and so that's some breaking news for you today.
We've been waiting on that for a long time. A long, long time. Finally came through with it for us. All right. Thank you, Supreme Court. We appreciate you. Flipsy's Furniture is designer furniture at wholesale prices, and you're not going to beat the fabulous deals you find at Flipsy's because they do, in fact, have the same stuff the other guys have for a whole lot less. I love them because the last, I'm going to say 4, 5, 6 pieces of furniture I bought from Flipsy's, and I paid a whole lot less for it than I did in other places for almost exactly the same stuff. In some cases, it was exactly the same stuff. I got 2-bedroom sets that are virtually identical. One of them is a queen size, one of them is a king size. I paid far more for the king size than I should have because I bought it somewhere else. Why would I do that? Well, I didn't know Flipsy's existed at the time. Now, I do, and I will never buy from any other furniture store again. 2 locations, 1811 Crestwood Boulevard in Irondale, and one in Hoover, right across from the Galleria next to 2nd and Charles. They have that white glove delivery. They've got that fabulous 12-month same as cash deal. They've got more furniture in the basement of the Irondale location. Make sure to stop by and tell them you heard it here. They like to hear that. That is Flipsy's Furniture, flipsysfurniture.com online, or in the 2 locations I just mentioned. You can find out more there. 9:11 our time, and I'm trying to figure out where we're going next. I got the Backstreet Boy Brian Luttrell being very upset.
How about that down in Fort Walton?
Yeah. He apparently owns a beach house, and some woman had been walking across his property with great regularity.
She actually sets up a beach chair
Yeah.
right at the water line,
Yeah.
or near the water line.
And he's claiming, hey, this is totally unfair. This is causing me emotional distress. Florida has a rule about the beaches that basically the sand in front of your property doesn't belong to you, which I think is interesting. Alabama tends to be a little bit more like, yeah, that's yours. You can have that. You know, everything down to the water line. But Florida seems to have an open beach rule that says she's not trespassing. She's doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, she has to walk across my property to get to that place. That's not okay. Judge just threw the case out and said, get over yourself, Backstreet Boy.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Again, it's just, people have to get through there. There's an area of the beach, and I guess it's high tide, where the high tide line is.
Yep.
You're welcome to go through there.
Yep.
And this woman has been kind of setting her chair right there, and it's just been a back and forth battle between Brian and this woman. And
Hey,
finally
Brian,
said, yeah.
Blindster.com.
Something like that. Or, hey, maybe find another place that's a little more exclusive. Maybe
Yeah.
go down to, Fort Morgan or something
There you
where, people aren't doing stuff like this. Fort Walton is a little busier.
It is. It's pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Levine, you might know him as Leland Stottlemyre from Monk, but he also played Buffalo Bill, a.k.a. James Gumb, in the movie Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that bothered Karen so much
Oof.
when she realized that those were the same. She was like, oh my God, I can't look at him the same way again.
Mm-hmm.
But yet she watched the entirety of Monk.
Oh, yeah. Well, he apologized for appearing in Silence of the Lambs as that character.
Why?
Well,
Yeah.
because it was an insensitive portrayal of somebody who was trans, except he
Oh,
wasn't
Lord.
really trans. He was just a creep and psychologically unsound, shall we
Yeah,
say.
Exactly.
He was killing people, and he was skinning people. He was a bad, bad man. It's okay to play that guy. By the way, Ted, you didn't write the book on which that was based. You just played
You
the
played
character.
the character. Nothing wrong with that. Don't go so personal
Yeah.
with it. Don't take it so personally.
Chill, sister. It's
Yes.
okay to
act
have
in it.
appeared in this thing. There are a couple of other people who have apologized as well. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you? No, just no. Lamb's producer Edward Saxon apologized for Buffalo Bill. Look, first off, we got to stop feeding the moments of the past through the lens of today. There was a time when
It's way too
certain
much of that.
things were acceptable, and they still are. I mean, are you going to tell me, look, here's a reality. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this fascinating statistic? You're about to hear something that you can carry to work with you. You can walk around and you can tell everybody all day long. Trans women have shot more people than ICE agents in 2026.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think of that.
So, this idea that all trans people are, perfectly on the up and up and wonderful, and no, many of them are just as messed up as anybody who's not a trans person. So it's okay to play somebody along those lines. I mean, there can be black people who are thugs, black people who are Supreme Court justices. There can be white people who are just drug-addicted feces, and there can be white people who are presidents of the United States. So this idea that if you portray somebody of a certain color or of a certain style or of a certain sexual proclivity, they have to be one way or another is nonsense. Get over it. Let's move on. And by the way, nothing wrong with a good movie. That thing won a bunch of Oscars, as I
Sure
recall.
did. Absolutely it did.
I like the
Don't
book better.
apologize for it,
I
Ted.
like the book better, as always.
Yeah.
Okay, it turns out that Colum Turner was not, in fact, named the new James Bond, although the article I read 2 weeks ago certainly made it seem that way.
It sure did. Did
They
they have
were
a
like-
change of mind
They were
behind
like,
the
"Oh,
scenes?
no, it never was announced. This magazine writer apparently jumped the gun,
Mm-hmm.
and they still haven't actually announced this, although he is very much in the front running for it, apparently. I don't know. I don't like the look of this guy.
You don't like his looks, huh? He
I just-
doesn't fit the Bond
He
character.
doesn't seem like the Bond character to me, but then again, I grew up with Sean Connery, probably the best Bond ever, right?
Right.
Followed by
You
the
think
second best Bond, George
once again,
Lazenby.
You want somebody
But-
kind of chiseled and good looking. And I'm not saying this guy isn't, kind of fit in that category, but he's a little out of the category. I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how to politely say it, but he just,
Mhm.
you're right, does not quite fit the mold of
Well,
what you want in a Bond character.
They said that about Daniel Craig as well, and he seemed to do fairly well. So,
Oh my God, a blonde Bond.
Yeah. Maybe the jury should remain out on this one for the time being, but still, I don't know. I have my questions. And could Tiger Woods actually make a comeback and play in the Masters?
His body is ravaged, John.
I wonder.
Is
I wonder if he could
ravaged.
handle it. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of golf.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be in
Yeah.
4 days and
I can tell you
preparing
right now.
for it. And
ESPN and CBS, who are splitting the coverage of it, are going, yes, please, Tiger, come on,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they know the ratings will jump.
Oh, yeah.
But can he physically handle the rigors of trying to do that?
If you've seen him play, the last time he played, you're just like,
Mm.
Tiger, we love you, but you've been in accidents, you've had back surgery. There's a lot going on there, and everything has to be working just right in order to play well. And I would hate for him to say, yes, he's going to play. He gets in it, and like day 2, he's like, I can't do this,
Yeah.
and he bails out of it.
That would be
again.
bad. That's called pulling a Simone Biles.
Yeah, kind of.
Um,
I don't know.
here's the thing. He was asked, would you rule out playing in the Masters this year? His one-word response, no. So,
How much money's in it?
you're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me that you could have some sponsors that say, do it, Tiger.
It could happen.
You only make it to day 2, we'll pay you X amount of dollars.
A lot of money just for being there.
Yeah.
Rodney's Marine is not a lot of money for a boat. It's amazing because they got new, they got used, they got 25s, they got 26s. They've all got Suzuki Power, 5-year warranty on that, and they've got in-house financing with low monthly payments. So you might be surprised at how affordable a boat is for you and your family. That is Rodney's Marine, about to appear at the boat show, Birmingham, Alabama Boat Show. That's coming up next weekend, right?
Yeah, a week from today. It starts February 27th through March 1st. Free admission. That is at the shops at Grand River out there in Leeds. You guys go by and hug Rodney's neck or shake his hand, whichever is preferable, and get to know the folks at Rodney's Marine. Again, the Alabama Boat Show next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, out at the shops at Grand River, and get yourself a boat. I mean, we're almost to boating season. Get that thing with all the accessories on it ready to go, so you'll be ready when the season is here. You put that boat in the water and have a good time, and Rodney's Marine is always there to assist you. Whatever you need, if you need a bigger Suzuki engine, they'll put that on your Starcraft or Silver Wave pontoon. These are great boats, y'all. We've been out on them, absolutely had a blast, and was blown away at how fast these things will get up and go across the lake. So deal with Rodney's Marine, Highway 231, Lake Logan Martin and Cropwell, 525-1500. Visit Facebook and rodneysmarine.com.
Go down and tell them you want to outfit your boat like one you saw on TV. It was just off the coast of Venezuela, and it had like 4 big engines on the back of it.
We're
a
going
lot
to go
of
from one end of the
tarps.
lake to the other in about 2 minutes.
Unless you get droned.
Yeah.
9:20 with Dixon and Vining. Stick around. 924, Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. The Alabama Men's Clinic would like to see you and test your blood. What in the world for, you ask? Well, because they want to know if you've got low testosterone. And if you do, they would like to take care of that for you because that is who they are and that is what they do. The Alabama Men's Clinic can come up with a variety of ways to up your testosterone level. That might just help cure your ED. If not, they have other solutions for that as well. Your life is not as much fun as it used to be. It's time to change that. It's time to make that call to the Alabama Men's Clinic. Find out what so many men have been talking about and why they're living their lives so much better and enjoying themselves so much more, and why it's different than any other doctor you've been to. They treat the whole person. They treat you like a person, which is nice. You feel like you're actually seen there. The Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000, or make an appointment in 30 seconds or less at alabamamensclinic.com. They are truly a game changer.
It's Steve's turn.
Well, earlier this morning we heard from Debbie about some movies coming out this weekend or streaming options, whatever you prefer. But me, I'm looking ahead a little bit. Got a movie coming out in late May. It's one of the films that I've added to this list of films that I'd like to go see this year. It's called Pressure. You can look it up right now. Go onto YouTube or whatever, and you can find the trailer for it. I've talked about our remaining passion for World War II movies before in this segment, and we've got another one in this particular case. First, let me note that there are many of these movies made about all different kinds of activities that happened during World War I, a lot of them about D-Day or June 6, 1944. And just a quick cursory look showed more than 30 major Hollywood productions about the turning point in the European theater of World War II. Notable films that include two of them. That have D-Day as a major point, but not necessarily the main focus of the film. Saving Private Ryan, first 30 minutes or so, is specifically about that. Patton, films that have D-Day as the main plot point, if not the entire basis of the film, include The Longest Day, the more sobering film Overlord. Several TV movies have been made about it as well that feature D-Day, Band of Brothers, Eisenhower, starring Tom Selleck. Which brings me back to Pressure, which is more similar probably to Eisenhower than, say, The Longest Day. The movie will come out just before the 82nd anniversary of June 6, 1944. Features Brendan Fraser as the future president who's in charge of the Allied forces leading up to that fateful day. Instead of reliving the landings of the beaches on Normandy, it actually takes us to a point 3 days before the landing where Eisenhower is paired up with a Royal Air Force meteorologist, and they're poring over all the information they can get to determine whether or not the weather will allow them to launch from Britain and get in the invasion going on, or do they put it off, allow the Germans more time, maybe even miss a window to begin the liberation of France and then Europe from Nazi rule, extending World War II months, maybe years. While we know in looking back what's happened, there's no doubt that we likely do not in all cases know the backstories behind some of the more famed or infamous stories and moments of World War II. Thing is, even if we do know it, we're fascinated by it anyway, which is, as I have said before, why we keep making movies about, and the populace keeps going to see movies about World War II. I've been working on compiling a list of the films I want to go see this year, and many of them are indeed part of a franchise. This one of those very few that is not, thankfully, and I appreciate it, and I got to admit, I'm one of the ones that's looking forward to seeing this particular film.
So it's a 2-hour movie about the weather. That sounds fascinating. I can hardly wait. That's going to be fun.
Congratulations on missing the point entirely.
No,
I'll put you up for Stormtrooper in the next Star Wars film.
That was actually a fascinating time, and of course, it's like you, I can't get enough knowledge about it. I happened to be at the World War II Museum in New Orleans on the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and so I spent the entire time in the European theater going over what that was like and what it was all about. And I never made it over to the Japanese theater, the Pacific theater.
Yeah.
I've got to get back there and do that because I spent the whole day in one half of the museum. And it was fascinating. Imagine having to make that decision, having to make that call. You're trying to dupe the Germans into believing that the attack is coming somewhere else and perhaps at a different time.
And from what I understand, the movie does at least mention, if not go into detail, on that whole deflection, so to speak.
Yeah. That in and of itself is a bit of a job. The luck that you have that Rommel, I believe, was off at a birthday party.
For his wife.
Yeah, for his wife, and that he was hungover and nobody wanted to call him and bother him.
And then Hitler's dumb enough to say, you can't move tanks without me giving you express permission, and he slept in until about 9 o'clock that morning.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that had to go wrong and a lot of stuff that had to go right to make that work. But there was, I'll never forget it, at the World War II Museum, there was a recording of a German who was there at D-Day who said, when the fog cleared and we looked out across the channel, you wouldn't think there were that many boats in the world, and they were all coming right toward us.
Yeah.
And he was like, of course he was 70 years old when he was telling this story, but he survived it, obviously. 9:30 with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. If you hadn't heard, the Supreme Court has knocked down Donald Trump's tariffs and said, no, you cannot impose them without getting the okay from Congress.
Could be a mess.
Well,
big mess.
Probably already is a mess. We'll see how that goes. But the Supreme Court is great at making a mess and then walking away. They do it all the time. Ah, yes. Listening to a little Casey Kasem, American Top 40 last Saturday. And
Was this
I want
on
to say
it?
it was probably 74 because this song was number 14
Ah,
that week. I didn't hear whether it was
everybody.
I didn't hear whether it was up or down on the charts, but it was 14. I don't remember it being like a
Not
number
a, like,
one
top
smash
10.
hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably got like top 10, but I don't
Okay.
remember exactly where. It's one of my favorite songs growing up. Had the 45, wore it out. Have no idea what was on the other side. Never bothered to flip it over and listen. 9:37 with Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talking995.com. And if you're trying to sell a piece of property and it is languishing, you might just be in quicksand. You know what happens when you're in quicksand? What usually happens is people struggle. People work hard to try to get out of it, and it just makes it worse. What you're really supposed to do is stop, calm down, relax, breathe, and come up with another plan, like reach out, see if you can find a branch or something you can grab onto to pull yourself out of the quicksand. You're going to be using your upper body strength with that. The same thing is true when it comes to trying to sell a piece of property. You slap a price on it, you put it out there, it's just mired. Nothing happens. Nobody's looking at it. It's not going anywhere. Or worse yet, you have a few people look at it, and then people lose interest entirely because they think, well, no one's buying that. I wonder what's wrong with it. So what's the best thing to do? Well, change your strategy. And that would be getting Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing on your side. With one meeting, Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing can explain to you how you can be rescued from this quicksand, how it is easier to bring the market to the property than it is to bring the property to the market, and how you can get the absolute best market value for that property by having an auction. If you have undivided property, they can show you how to split it up into a bunch of different pieces as well and make every one of the owners happy. You're going to get an assured date of sale, an assured date of closing, and the buyer pays all the closing costs, including the cost of sale. So you are going to be one happy camper, and you're going to be out of quicksand, which is what you're after. GTauctions.com, the place to go to find out more. GTauctions.com. The grandson of the inventor of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is a little ticked off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There's controversy.
He says Hershey's has been cutting corners. It's a fascinating tale. Yeah.
Surprised by that?
Well, I actually saw this on the History of Food, the food that made America. The guy worked for Hershey forever. Hershey at one point had its own dairy farm and actually, created its own milk to make the chocolate from because they wanted to have the steady stream and supply. They realized after a while, we're not in the milk business. This is a bad idea. We should farm this out to somebody who does it better than we do. But this guy was one of the guys who handled the cows. He was like the dairy farm guy on the scene. When they got rid of the cows, they kept him. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? They said, I don't know, whatever you want. So he started experimenting with the concept of making his own candy. He used Hershey's chocolate, and he said, chocolate and peanut butter, those go together really well. Let's give that a try. And he started creating his own peanut butter. And he actually had them burn it a little bit because it made it drier and it got a little chalky. And that's what created the famous Reese's taste. Now, his grandson, who is 70 years old, says, you guys are fudging on this a lot. You are using peanut cream, not peanut butter, like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're using less cocoa, less chocolate. You're using, sometimes you'll see chocolate flavored something on a piece of candy.
Yeah, they're not using real chocolate.
They're mixing the real chocolate with the chocolate flavored stuff, and they're making the walls thinner. There's more peanut cream than there is actual chocolate. It used to be a pretty good blend between the two. Those Reese's walls were relatively thick, like a border wall,
Similar to that.
But
yeah, there's a difference between the Biden border wall and the Trump border wall.
exactly.
Yeah.
One of them had a border wall.
Yeah.
True. The other one was selling them.
Anyway, Reese's comes back and says, nah, we're not doing any of that. Don't know what you're talking about. I mean, of course, we're all using a little bit less chocolate because cocoa has become so expensive. We're experimenting with some other stuff. And, we've kind of updated. Basically, we're trying to update the recipe to try to bring it into the modern age.
Yeah.
But we're not doing any of the stuff you're saying. We're just using less chocolate and changing the recipe
You're
a little bit.
trying to
And he's
save
like,
money is what you're trying
In
to
other
do.
words,
Right.
without saying it,
Yeah.
you are cutting corners.
doing exactly what this guy says they're doing. We'll see if they go back and change their evil ways. But let's face it, Reese's still the #1 candy in America today. Can you believe that?
Pretty tasty.
And, you know, the other thing is that they've now branched out and they're doing all those other things. There's Reese's Sticks and the Reese's Cups that have a little chocolate lava in there. And somebody called in the other day about the marshmallow one. And we had the peanut butter and jelly one. There was one that had potato chips in it. I never liked that one.
Peanut butter and jelly sounds good.
The peanut butter and jelly was
Yeah.
good. We tried that. Were we not here for it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
think so. I remember it.
Taco Bell just dropped 2 brand new versions of fans' favorite menu items.
Oh, so we're reforming them again, huh?
Well, this one's a little different. It's got new chicken bacon ranch cheesy street chalupas.
Yum.
Yeah.
Oh, that
It's a long
sounds
name,
really
but it does
good.
sound tasty.
Well, the chicken is nothing new. The bacon shouldn't be anything new, but the ranch might be a little offbeat, huh?
That'll add a little something,
Throwing
little
the
kick
ranch
to
in
it.
there? Yeah. I like chicken bacon ranch. I'm a fan of that. And then the cheesy street chalupas. I don't know if that's cheesy street they're talking about, like we're all living on cheesy street.
Or yeah.
Or-
It's a cheesy street.
Or is it cheesy?
Cheesy.
And they're street chalupas. I'm not sure. They also have chicken bacon ranch nacho fries.
Not your fries.
They ain't going to be your fries for long.
That's right.
I'm going to take them
Gonna
away
be
from you.
mine.
They won't be nacho fries. They will be my fries. Here's something that's new on the market that is enough to turn my head. The frozen pizza game, been going on for a long time. I'm really, really tired of a lot of the stuff that they're trying to do. Like, for instance, Tombstone came out with a French fry crust.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. That's you just no. Totino's tried to up their game and be like, oh no, we still have the crappy party pizzas, but now we also have these gourmet pizzas. I'm sorry, Totino's, you're not selling me.
Yeah. Just
on
make
this.
a good frozen pizza.
This-
Don't start adding French fries. to
Or
the
understand what
crust.
you are and be Totino's.
Yeah.
One of my favorite frozen pizzas is the Screaming Sicilian.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little hoo-ha
That's
there,
like
but
the teeth with
Screamin'
a mustache
Sicilian.
on it.
Yes. Yeah.
That company.
Truly great, especially Supreme Pizza. Now, you pay for them. They are not cheap. I think I was at Walmart the other day and I saw them for $6.79, and I thought that's actually pretty good.
That
a
is
lot
a
of
good
times
price.
they'll get up near $9 if you're at the place where shopping is a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait
I
for
was
those
like,
to be
Pretty
buy
typical
one,
for
get
like a
one free.
Domino's or
Yeah.
a Pizza Hut,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
when you think about
Yeah,
it. Or
yeah.
maybe even still less.
I wanted to buy one. I didn't buy one because I don't need it, but I do always have an emergency pizza on hand for that.
Yeah.
when
Got to have
things
some of
go
those in the
horribly
freezer. You just never know.
Well, here's a brand new one: Screaming Sicilian Detroit style
Ooh.
pizza.
Okay.
I love Detroit style pizza. And now we have an author here who says this is as good as any takeout you're going to find.
Oh, come on now. That's always a stretch.
Carmela D'Aquisto. Take it up with her.
I will. Or we'll buy one and find out for
We can
ourselves.
sample for
taste test.
ourselves. And then we can call her right after we finish calling Tom at Burger King and tell him his place sucks.
And your review's horrible.
Carmela, you were wrong. How dare you? No, I love Sicilian style pizza. I like the Motor City brand. It's a lot of bread.
It is a lot of
I
bread.
can't always go for that,
Mhm.
but every once in a while, it's a nice little change of pace. The Screaming Sicilian, I just know, has got to be much, much better. McDonald's is breaking out the Big Arch Burger in America for the first time.
Big Arch, bring it on.
The Big
Let's
Arch.
try it.
Mm-hmm. What exactly is the Big Arch? It's a delicate balance between double beef, creamy melted cheese, crisp lettuce, fresh pickles, and a healthy smatter of signature sauce between a sesame seed bun.
Hmm.
When they say Big Arch, I believe we're talking about it's not, it's bigger than a Big Mac.
A plus size burger.
Also going to cost you something.
Yeah.
I'm betting.
How
$15?
much? What are we looking
I
at?
don't know. I bet you could look it up, though, Steve.
Of course
I
they
bet
did.
you
Of course they didn't put the price there.
Well, it's going to be different everywhere you go. Obviously, if you're going down to Miami, you're going to L.A., New York City. It's going to be one thing. If you're in cross country America, it's probably a different price, something less.
All right. Expected to launch somewhere around March 3rd. Price count of approximately $10 for the sandwich alone.
Jeez.
Wow. Five Guys, here I come.
What's a triple cheeseburger at McDonald's cost? You might be better off
You
getting that.
You might be.
Huh?
Do they have a triple cheeseburger? Am I not?
I bet you could order one.
I bet you could.
Triple cheeseburger at McDonald's typically costs between $5 and $7.
Okay.
Maybe that's what we do. Just forget that Big Arch.
I don't know. The Big Arch sounds pretty big delicious. I might be willing to part with an extra $3 to get that. We'll see, but I mean,
Maybe that's should be the comparison right there.
if you team
You
it up
do
with
a-
fries and a drink, I mean, that's got to go. That's
You're
you're
eating a hole in a
16
20 in a
bucks.
heartbeat.
yeah,
right?
You're in the $15-16.
See, I stay under $10 with a triple cheese, a fry, and a Coke.
All right.
Don't you think?
Now with the fry and a Coke, you're over 10, but not by much.
Barely.
Or we could just not go to McDonald's and actually cook at home. That's
Yeah,
another way
you
we could do
could.
it.
How
We could try
dare
that
you
out
think
for
we
some-
ought to do that?
I know.
How dare you?
How dare you? And Little Debbie fans are calling its new snack a must get. Little Chubby has launched new Boston cream pies.
Yes.
Sounds tasty, but yeah, I can only imagine how much the sugar content
Little
is
tubby.
on that.
Little Tubby.
Yeah,
I love
Little
that.
Tubby is
Little Tubby.
always sweet. It's way too sweet for me. I don't know what it is. Hostess is not as overly sweet to me as Little Chubby is. But this, it does look good. I have to admit, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just going,
I could use some of that in my life.
I could do like 2 bites.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to eat the whole thing. I could take 2 bites, spit them out.
You could.
Yeah. Let's call me Karen Carpenter.
No.
I'm only showing Boston cream cake rolls here. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, I was just looking. A single serving of that, of
Mhm.
a Little Debbie Boston cream cake roll, is 270 calories.
Yikes.
That's one roll.
That sounds like a deal. 270. I'll take 2.
Sure.
It seems
Because they're
small.
probably packaged in twos.
Almost certainly. Me and Nick Saban. Going to be sitting and enjoying
Side by
those.
side.
9:48 with Dixon and Viney. Dixon and Viney question of the day coming your way next. Louis. 9:53, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Dixon and Vining about to hand things off to Skippy and his little sidekick, Jimbo.
Actually, not today.
Not today?
Orlando's filling in.
Yeah,
Orlando
we
is
had to
filling in.
shovel some things around because AJ's off.
Yeah.
And so, because of scheduling, yeah,
So
it's going to be Orlando.
so we got Skippy and his little sidekick, Orlando.
Well, I don't know that you want to call Orlando that, but okay.
He's neither
Yeah.
little nor is he a sidekick.
We had to break up that team just for the day today
Oh,
because
what a shame.
some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tony texts us and says, I missed that Supreme Court decision. Could you repeat it for me? Yes. 6-3, the Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump's tariffs are unconstitutional. The Constitution and the AIFA Act, as they're calling it, is very narrow and does not give the president the power to impose tariffs unilaterally. He would need approval from Congress to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And there is some question about whether or not he could get that from them. I don't know. Look, I think it's in everybody's best interest. Look at how well they have worked out.
Really well.
I know there are people out there like, yeah, it's raising the cost of everything. It's terrible. I'm sorry, inflation is 2.3% as of the last reading. 2.3%. Significantly lower than it was under Joe Biden, okay? Even the day he left office, it was 2.6. So 2.3%, significantly better than it was under Joe Biden. So we didn't really get the huge inflation that everybody said we were going to get. We did drive more manufacturing home. We used the tariffs as a lever to get people to invest in the United States of America. I mean, these are all really good things, and there's no downside to the tariffs, to be honest with you, that I can see, given the fact that our employment picture remains largely the same.
Yeah, I think there are some small businesses that have gotten together. They're like, well, we've been affected by these tariffs negatively, and we're losing money, and we want a refund.
Okay.
Now they're asking for a refund.
Yeah, that is a
which
question.
is going to be a total mess because you're talking probably billions of dollars.
Try to sort that out. But you know
Yeah.
what? They return your tax dollars to you every year. I bet they can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
B-Rad says, I'm like both of you guys. Y'all just need to get to London and go to the museums over there. It's unreal. They still got bullet holes in the buildings. I would, but I don't want to be killed by a Muslim. So, yeah.
I think we'll pass on that.
Stay right where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Anderson sent over a picture of his little mini Datsun. Dachshund. His name is Cooper.
Datsun would be the
Cooper.
car.
Datsun is the car.
Uh-huh.
Cooper
Not anymore,
is
it's a
another
Nissan.
car. But yes, Cooper is a little dachshund, and he's adorable. Thanks to everybody who sent pictures of their animals in. I appreciate it. Dave says the Screaming Sicilian thin crust is good if you don't want a lot of bread. Yes, I would agree. Let's see. Adam says if you want a real Big Mac style burger, you need to go to Henrietta's in Trussville and have their version of the Big Mac. Okay.
It's not easy to replicate, so we'll take your word for it.
And Chris says, unless he negotiates with countries, you forgot that point. Yes, that's exactly right. I did say that earlier. I guess we should mention it every time. If Donald Trump negotiated the tariffs, they are still acceptable.
Yeah.
If he went there. Now, sometimes the only reason they negotiated is because he slapped a huge tariff on them or threatened to slap a huge tariff on them. Once that fear is gone, some of those countries may be like, you know what? Our negotiations are off. I'm not going with that anymore. But I think most people are finding that they are satisfactory. Most countries are still doing business with us. We still have a good balance of trade or imbalance of trade with most of Europe. We're still a little off there. We're still buying more from them than we're selling them. But we're doing better.
Yeah.
And we get a lot more money from the tariffs
And
as
some
well.
will use this to their advantage. They'll be like,
Sure.
oh, well, the Supreme Court told you you can't do this.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be some that do that. And there's going to be, and by the way, if they do, maybe that'll be enough to light a fire under Congress's butt and make them go, you know what? We've decided he can do that.
Maybe.
So there.
Maybe.
Give him limited power. Say, well, for the next 3 years, you can do this. 9:57, let's do this real quick.
Dixon and Vining's question of the day.
If it were an Olympic sport, you'd take the gold. What is it? Steve West.
I'm not sure I'm an expert enough in anything to take the gold in it because I like to consider myself a jack of all trades. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably good at bronze in something.
You know, don't sell yourself short, Steve. You're a terrible slouch.
Thank you. Thank you very little.
What about you,
I
Valerie?
said being optimistic about no bad weather.
Oh, that's you are.
I would get a gold
You
in
would get a
that.
gold in that, no question about it. Yeah.
Like no snow.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to storm. No tornadoes.
Not gonna
That
happen.
hurricane ain't going to hit us.
I am going with fudge making.
Yes, you
Gold
are
medal.
quite good at that.
Gold medal in fudge.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I would say so.
And then I would dip it in chocolate.
Oh.
Jerry says being a helpful person. Rose says napping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian said beer drinking.
Michelle says weed eating. I'm quite meticulous about it. I used to do it professionally. Wow,
Right.
very nice.
Andrew says turning off women.
Is that our Andrew?
I don't think so.
Randy says recliner testing.
We're testing.
Tim, I don't know. I was always kind of good at that marble in a wooden maze game. Do they still make those?
I don't know if they do. I bet they do. Amazon's got it.
Whitey says, following Richard Dixon on the radio since Back Talk 1070, CLE forever. To which the only response is prophecy rocks. Let's see. Wondering, says Butch. Really? Wondering? Okay, take that. I drink coffee and I know things. Yeah, okay, that's good. Picking the slow checkout lane at the grocery store.
We all are guilty of that. It's like, oh, there's a short line. Oh no, the lady with the check right there. She's writing her check. It's gonna be here a while.
That is the Lord telling me,
Just
you get
be
to practice
patient.
patience today. I know exactly what that is.
Been
Stumbling
there.
and falling forward, says Jackie. Okay, that's good. Choosing the wonky wheel cart from 200 available. I had one of those the other day.
Isn't that fun?
I was halfway through the store, but I
You're
was
like,
like, "Ah,
golly,
why didn't I
cuss.
just put it back?
Right.
Shopping, dressing very high-end, classic, elegant, ladylike for an amazing price, says Sharon.
Go, Sharon.
Frank says sarcasm.
Huh.
He won the Sarcasm Olympics back in 1978.
Did he really?
No. That was sarcasm. It's 10 o'clock. We are out of here. Andrew Skippy McLean and Orlando come your way next here on Talk 99.5. Back dark and early Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.